Well, there's a lot of talk about nuclear energy and even some shifting views. But is nuclear power truly safe and clean? That's customer support.
Some feedback today about nuclear power safety. The idea that nuclear energy is the cleanest and least detrimental to humanity is way off. Obviously, 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, Fukushima, and radioactive waste disposal missed your radar. I believe 3 Mile Island began the downfall of nuclear energy in the U.S., and the other catastrophes simply reinforced the resistance, not your comic book theory. And that's from Joseph Beach. 3 Mile Island was probably an inflection point for nuclear power acceptance. I was talking, though, about why we think nuclear power is hazardous and why that fear is unfounded. For example, the 3 Mile Island incidents caused 0 deaths from any cause and no measurable contamination in the immediate area. Continuing research shows no long-term environmental effects. The worst nuclear accident, Chernobyl, had a death toll of 78, only 34 of which were from radioactive exposure, the rest from the explosion. Over time, it may cause approximately 150 some odd deaths from thyroid cancer due to the blunder of allowing milk to be sold from cows grazing on nearby pastures immediately after the incident. Soviet mismanagement of Chernobyl was textbook what not to do. Fukushima deaths totaled 1 from the blast, 1 years later from lung cancer, but over 2,000 from the trauma of evacuating 160,000 people and from the fatalities of the largest earthquake in Japanese history. There is no evidence to support fears of massive fatalities from nuclear plants, nor can reactors turn into bombs, although nuclear weapons certainly confused risk perception. As for waste, it is isolated from the environment, unlike CO2 emissions. There is no perfectly harmless source of electrical power, but nuclear is safer with fewer emissions than almost all. So why does it scare us? The overblown fear of the same technology as a medical X-ray served as a great plot device for dystopian fiction and gruesome humor. The term radioactive has become synonymous with untouchable or poisonous. Political policies like tax increases are often termed radioactive, for example. Reactor accidents provided an excuse to label a publicly misunderstood technology like GMOs as riskier than the alternatives. Those alternatives had economic reasons to disparage nuclear competition. The public acquired this baseless fear from sloppy media portrayals and distorted use of technological terms.
Thank you, John. Well, I know John's a fan of Star Trek, but I don't know about the Andy Griffith Show. Well, if you are a fan of that show, we just have the road trip of a lifetime. That's American Countryside next.